Sure.
No sound?
Uh-oh. I wasn't paying attention.
Just joking, guys. We're here. Are you here? Are we here?
It's almost like I need to put the music back on.
Yeah, like let's start all over. Let's just get a fresh roll.
You know, I gotta keep the music going.
Yeah, we're people of music.
You know, I gotta.
That's our thing. That's our people-isms.
You know, and you got some good music.
But this is why people don't really like the church at home right now, because there's no music. My mom said she's tired of church without the music and stuff. She needs a little
Yeah, that could
We're a people of music. That's our thing.
That could be a little hard.
Dry. Oh, hard. Yeah. It's like dry, hard. I don't know.
I mean, they're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Church could be hard without the music.
It could. I don't know if hard is the word we want to use. I don't really think they want us to use that word. I think it can be a little bit different without the music.
Yeah, a little.
You guys are getting behind the scenes footage, I believe. Instagram, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys.
You smile, and I smile, and I say, hey, this is getting personal. Let's stay for a while and play. Girl, let's make this a moment. Ooh, giving you the best of me. Amazing.
Shay J, you can't really hear me because I'm muffled up.
You're like extramuffled.com. I don't know if you guys know, you don't know because you can't see him, but Brother Jeff has on all the masks. Like your mask, my mask, their mask, all the masks. And I'm really feeling some type of way because it's literally only he, I, and our other producer who's way in the back, Gerald. So I don't know what he's trying to say about me. I don't know if he feels like I have it.
You safe.
Oh, you're keeping. Oh, he has it, so he's keeping me safe. I don't know.
No,
at
we
this
don't
point,
know who
because
has
we're
it.
still 6 feet away. You're right. We don't really know. But at this point, I feel like if you've been paying attention and you know the signs, you should be able to know a little bit of something about how you feel. I just think if you're really in tune, But that means you have to be in tune with your body before now. You couldn't just start this new thing. And Brother Jeff, you've always been on top of being in tune with your body, feeding yourself the right things, drinking the right things, clearing out your system. So I feel like if anybody knows when they have something, it's you.
But you know what? Everybody should know now because we've been home for a month.
Come on, that's what I'm saying.
I
We've
haven't
been
felt
home for a
healthier,
month. In my whole entire being?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that part. I'm like, literally, you have no real outer distractions when it comes to like, oh, I'm driving past Chick-fil-A, gotta grab some. Oh, I'm doing there. Because if you're staying home and doing your part, you literally can monitor the things that you put in your body, the things you do. You should feel a lot healthier. But then if you're sitting at home being a couch potato, that gets to you too. So I guess, hey, it's a little bit of both. And I've been really on this. If anybody knows me, my favorite thing is balance.
All right.
So I've been finding that balance in it all. Like I do my morning walks every morning. That's my one have to do. But besides that morning walk, that day, I mix a little bit of everything. I have some yoga, then I might have a little wine, then I might have a little, and I'm not a TV person, but this is the most I've ever actually tuned into TV. A lot of it, of course, is news, but it's been different. But I'm finding my balance. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in on this amazing Friday. It's your girl Shay J from the Brother Jeff Network on the Free Think Zone. Super excited to have you here with us on this Friday. Thank you for tuning in. And right now, do us a favor. During COVID season, it's super important that we make sure that they know Black media is essential. So tune in right now and share it to a friend. Share it to someone who hasn't tuned in before. We need your support more now than ever. And at any time, you can go to brotherjeffnetwork.com or brotherjeff.com, and you can give any amount of donation, just 7 donations a day. Keep us up and running, but make sure you let them know Black media is essential. And if you don't have it right now to give, it's okay. Just share it out, share to someone else, and let them know that we're here and we're here to stay. And with your support, we'll support you, and you support us, and that's how we keep this thing going in the community. Let me hit you with a trigger alert. This is a show that triggers people because you've entered a free think zone. If you're not willing to be exposed to other comments, tune out now and don't read the comments. You have been warned.
Other points of view.
Man, I knew I should have just read it. All right, I was close, right? But if you are not willing to be exposed to other points of views, tune out now. And don't read the comments. You have been warned. I don't even get to read them sometimes because I'm triggered as well. So trigger, you've been warned. You've entered a free think zone. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Happy Friday to my people. I know if you're like me, you get lost in the days of the week. I'm like, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's just today, tomorrow, and the next day in my life.
Right.
You know, like, what day is it? Doesn't know. Oh, my God, one of your masks are coming off?
I'm straight.
He has on all the masks. I mean, literally all the masks. And if you're at home, make sure you're doing what I say was most important, which is self-care. Whatever that looks like for you, self-care, self-care. I'm going to keep telling you this is the thing that's going to keep us going and keeping us alive. Make sure you're keeping yourself right, drinking plenty of water, making sure you're putting on your essential oils, taking your essential vitamins. And if you have that natural hair, you know what it is. Chubby curls. Educating the natural hair one scalp at a time. So keep it local, chubbycurls.com. Make sure during this time we are supporting our, not even just small businesses. I hate calling businesses small because, you know, I feel like they grow. And I feel like there's something about that small that kind of like diminishes. I'm like, you're a little small business. There's nothing small about doing business. But we need to support local businesses that are going to become national one day. The only way they can become national is by you supporting them. And especially, you know what my thing is, support Black. We've got to support Black businesses during this time more now than ever. And I say, even when this thing turns around, let's make sure we're being intentional about these, because these big corporations, they're going to be okay. As much as they're playing the game like they're not, they're going to be okay. But it's your Black businesses that you need to support, your local businesses, your things that are right in your community outlets. This is the time more now than ever to pour in, because they're not getting the outward support. Not like they ever really got it before, but more now than ever, I think this is the time to support. And that's why I'm making sure I buy local. My favorite brand of pickles, the People's Pickles. Go to peoplespickles.com. Give them a holler. My favorite is the hot, the sweet and hot. That's my favorite ones. So grab you the People's Pickles. Make sure we're supporting right here in our local town. Brother Jeff, what's been your favorite local thing that you've done lately? Have you got anything local that you're like, yeah, this was a good little item?
Local thing that I've done lately.
Yes.
I can't scream at the children anymore.
Why can't you scream at the kids anymore?
I don't have any more breath to scream at the kids.
You're done. You're done with your screaming matches. But they just seem so, the thing is, I've seen them in action when they're in full action, but they're just so intelligent that it's like,
Well, what about the parents that are trying to homeschool and work from home?
how are you doing it? How are you doing it all?
can't
And
do it.
I mean, I completely salute
Can't
you
do it.
every step of the way. And then I salute the people that were doing it before this, because now they're looking at some of you parents and they're laughing at you and saying, welcome to my world. But it's real. I think my cousin, she had me cracking up this morning. So this morning I'm talking to her and she's like, you know, her son tried to say he didn't feel well enough to go to school today. Sir, school's in the living room. So you don't feel well enough to go to the living room today? So she politely made him some hot tea and put the water and said, drink it, log on, and shut up. She was like, I mean, even when there's no school, he's still trying to find a way to tell me he doesn't feel well enough to come to the living room. So it's real out here. You guys with kids, you're holding it down. I'm coming to so many meetings. And what I love to see now is I feel like this playing field is getting a little bit more equalized. It's not equal, we know that. But the playing field is getting a little bit more regulated. And so I'm on these Zoom calls, and I'm doing a Zoom meeting the other day, and this is a big corporation I'm on the Zoom meeting with. And so to see all these executives who don't look like me and you, they're not Black, they're not brown, to see all of them and their kids are in their background hollering, screaming, they're like getting off the phone every 2 minutes, they're saying, hold on, I'll be right back, can you excuse me? And they can't control, and these are kids that are 9, 10, 11, and so to see all this really transpire is like, ha ha ha. I love the behind the scenes.
I'm trying to figure out if this bleach, injecting bleach is going to be able to help us with this coronavirus.
Who is this guy? Like, I just want to know, who is this guy that you guys put into office? And in November, if you don't show up to the polls, I have a huge problem with you. I feel like this revealed Trump's stupidity on a whole different level. Your president, he's not my president, your president, Trump suggested that you inject disinfectant to beat out the corona. So inject it into your lungs, clear out your system. And he's like, on the back of it, doesn't it say corona? Doesn't it say it does this, that, and the third? So in order to get rid of what you're going through, just put some disinfectant in your lungs and you'll be fine. I mean, how stupid can you be? And at a time like this, when we are literally losing thousands and thousands of people, to even make comments this idiotic, I'm concerned. So any of you that even followed him, because you know what? It's your choice. Your life, your choice. And I seen a meme. It's really not that funny, but it's kind of funny. And I mean, it's a free think zone, so I'm gonna say it. And the meme said, "Stop telling the Trump supporters not to take his advice. Their body, their choice." So hey, your body, your choice. But I just say, be smart. We know that putting disinfectant down our body is not the answer. And I'm really concerned that this is what the leader is doing. And I'm really concerned if you don't come in November and get to the polls. I don't know if it's going to be a poll. I don't know if it's going to be a write-in, a mail-in. Brother Jeff, what's going to happen?
It's going to happen. I talked to Congressman Jason Crow. He said that there's nothing that says there's not going to be an election. So there will be an election.
There will be an election. Okay.
So will it be mail-in? I don't know. But it's going to be different. They can't campaign.
Right. They can't campaign.
Not like they used to.
No.
Because you can't have crowds.
Exactly.
So how are you going to campaign in front of crowds? I think people are going to vote for who they were going to vote for anyway.
Regardless. And that's kind of what happens. Like, we don't have many to choose. I mean, we have Biden, we have Trump, and then whoever is going to jump in randomly. I think people are going to vote how they vote. But I wonder how big do we make this? Because I feel like this is a time. The one thing about this virtual world, we know that the access is limited, especially when you're in areas where you don't get that type of access, especially when you're, impoverished and in these certain places, you don't get to use that type of, you don't have that access. But at the end of the day, if we're talking about virtual gets to a lot of people. And so I'm thinking, like, do you do something like the NFL, who had their NFL draft yesterday online and on TV, but everything was an online process. Like, they didn't get to go and do the big event. Do you do something like that really encourages people to tune in? Because people love going online. It's an easy fix. It's easy access if you have the access. I don't know what happens, but I know you better vote. However, whatever happens, I know you better vote.
You vote. If they count it, it's up to them, but you got to go cast that vote.
Period. Whatever they do with it, I don't know. But my thing is, they try to silence us for a reason. So you need to be smart enough to go vote and make your voice be heard, however that counts. But I know where your voice does count right now in the climate control conversation. Appreciate Brother Jeff and everybody in the community pushing this forward. We're talking about climate control right now. It's a big thing happening. There was a convention that was going to take place right here in Colorado, but of course under the new regulations of making sure we're social distancing, it's not happening, but still the conversation is important. And it's even more important for us Black and brown people to be a part of the conversation. I think so many times we shy away from things we're not familiar with. But climate control does affect us and in ways that I didn't even know. And so literally I've been sitting in a couple meetings lately, and right now they're doing a climate control campaign, and they want you to log in. It goes all the way to the 30th of this month. And it's a denverclimateaction.consider.it. And you go in, it only takes about 5 minutes of your time. You're going to sign a petition, and you're going to be able to be a breeze on what's going on in this climate control and what they're looking like in they're looking at what it looks like in about 20 years. What do we look like when generations to come? What do we look like in 50 years? What do we look like after that? And how can we make sure our areas that are being polluted with all the different construction and all things going on, because we know it happens more in Black and brown areas than ever. What happens?
I'm voting for Biden.
We know you are. We know you're voting for Biden. I mean, who else were you going to choose?
That's all I can do.
That's all you can do. Biden, we're voting for Biden. I mean, like, I don't know what else. We don't really have that many options right now.
You were talking about memes. I saw a funny meme, and they had a picture of Obama endorsing Biden, and they were standing next to each other, and Biden says, "Thank you, Denzel."
Thank you, Denzel. But it was hilarious. And that if you've been tuned out in politics, there's a lot going on. We know with this COVID, and it's taken over our world. But if you've been looking, everybody's been saying how Biden's been so lackadaisical and so behind, and not even at the place of like, do you even know you're running and what you're running for? So in that meme, it was hilarious because Obama's like, "I'm endorsing you," and Biden's like, "Thanks, Denzel." Wait a minute. And there was another one like that where Obama's like, "I'm endorsing you," and Biden's like, "For what?" So I mean, literally, we don't really know where Biden's head is, but the thing we know where Trump's is, and he wants you to inject Lysol, Pine Sol, Clorox inside of your body to get well from the coronavirus. So if that's who you feel like should be your leader, I think you should think twice. Yeah. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, however many times it takes to rethink and to retrain your mind. He's not it, guys.
Shay J, there's this debate that's going on. The governor is going to open up the state, I think, on one date, and then the 26th, and then the mayor was going to do the 30th, and now the Mile High Income City is going to open up on
the
May 8th.
Right.
I'm not going out anyway.
Man, it's a great debate on so many levels, Brother Jeff. And what I think if there's levels to this. First of all, we're talking about that there is a Denver and Jeffco both agreed. We're not opening up until May 8th. And so I like that they agreed on that extension period together. And the biggest thing is during that extension, they're looking at bringing over 1,000 different coronavirus tests here. So during that extension, they're bringing the test, but then they're also bringing the workforce to make it happen. So there'll be 1,000 at each site and a workforce to govern that and to make sure this happens. So the thing is, they're not just saying, hey, we want to keep you in the house, but we want to make sure people have the opportunity to get tested that have not been and may have been exposed. And that's the biggest part in the fight. I feel like, yes, okay, if we open the doors, how do we do this in phases? And then how do we make sure people are protected? And then we had the mayor that came out and said, hey, we are waiting until the 8th. And Post is saying, hey, I don't know. And so there's these things going back and forth, but I think it's a great conversation. And then in the conversation, it goes to the whole conversation of essential. And we know in the beginning, Mayor Hancock right here in Denver, Colorado got out and said, hey, no liquor stores, no dispensaries, shut down. And there was a surplus of people running to the liquor store, running to the dispensary, lines outside. So immediately he had to come back and say, let me go ahead and take this back a step. We're going to make those essential stops. You'll be able to visit those. No need for these long lines. Because what happened was the gathering of people. The one thing that they were trying to stop happened on a bigger level, on a larger scale. So when you have something like that happen, you have to go back and rethink, do we need to make this essential? So now they're saying you have a lot of companies that are fighting that are tobacco companies that have gotten now these different, they're warrants. They're like baby just warning signs and things like that saying you must shut down. You're not essential. And they're saying, well, how are liquor stores essentials? And then you have churches saying, how are liquor stores essential? How are marijuana dispensaries essential? And we're not. And I think when you look at that argument, we have to take some type of different lenses and we have to take a level of common sense. And I think essential is different when we're using it in this manner. We're talking about essential to people not being in large crowds, essential to people's livelihood of being alive, not essential to your life, not essential that this is what the most important thing is, but the little thing is when you're in liquor stores, you're not congregating, you're not sitting together, you're not laughing, you're not crying, you're not hugging, you're not doing that in the liquor store. You're grabbing your bottle and you're going. It's not a congregation of people. When you're in the dispensary, now they're meeting you outside. They're giving you your stuff and you're going. And a lot of people, and I think dispensaries shouldn't even be a part of the conversation because that's medical. There's really tobacco. If you want to argue the conversation, you argue it with alcohol, but dispensaries are a medical thing. But at the end of the day, these are not places that people congregate. These are not places where people hold hands. It's not people where people share tissues and people usher you, put a towel on top of you. This is not where this happens. So I feel like the conversation has got to transfer and it has to move to a space of how do we protect people from being in large crowds over 10. And any church is usually going to be over 10 people. And then tobacco shops, you're just not essential. Period. You can go to the gas station and grab some cigarettes and keep it moving. But I feel like we have to really look at what's happening and say, how do we protect each other more than ever, especially right here in our Black community where we know we're being hit harder than anybody else. So, just be smart.
I think Chap Rap, James Chapman is smitten with you. He says, oh my God, you look amazing.
Why, thank you. Namaste. Brother Jeff is crazy, if you guys didn't know. See this, he's a little bit of a starter. JPS Meat Market is back open. That Greeley Meat Market that shut down. It's back open today. I don't know how I feel about that. Some people died. It's a little too soon for me.
Yeah.
It's a little bit too soon.
I heard that the Walmart out there.
Oh my gosh. Exposition. And okay, I'm just going to say it. That's the Walmart I don't go to. It's the Walmart right there in Exposition. You guys know Exposition Blackout where everybody goes to, but there's no supplies. So why do you go? I don't know. Because I know what area they're in. And anybody knows about, when you do market shopping for certain areas, like a store in Glendale is not going to look the same as a store in Thornton. A store, they do it by demographics. The shopper that comes in and shops for a store does it by the demographic. So that Walmart right there in Exposition, they know that is the Black and brown area. They don't really care about it. It's the upkeep is 0+. So of course it would be affected at a high rate. So it's shut down. So don't try to go to your Walmart and get anything right there in Exposition. It is shut down. There's been 3 deaths. Yes, 3 deaths. 6 employees that have already contracted it, tested positive already, and 3 deaths. It is shut down. You cannot go. So now I'm saying, where are you guys going to go? Please don't come by my house. without your mask on. Don't do it. Get your mask, get your gloves.
Yeah.
Protect yourself, protect one another. They shut it down. And I can only imagine, because it's dirty during regular season. So I just only can imagine how Corona was seeping out of the shelves.
Oh.
I mean, it's always dirty, Brother Jeff. I don't frequent that place at all.
I just learned it from Councilman Juan Marcano's page, and he was warning everybody that that store is Corona Field.
Corona Field.
So you're saying that they shut it down?
Shut down. It's shut down. You can't go there.
Okay.
So now they may be going to Hampton. I don't know, that Hampton might be the next one, or you might start coming over here to the Stapleton, Park Hill area. I don't know where you're going to go.
But he said if you went to that store, you should probably
get checked, test yourself, self-quarantine yourself. But now that we have all these tests available, you should be able to actually get tested. Be safe, please. And I think that's just it's a sad story, but the realization is you may not know you have it, and then you might have it, and if you're not taking care of yourself already, it may be harder to fight. So let's just be smart about how that looks. And now they're saying, we're shutting down some things. They're shutting down drinking at the parks. So all you gathering in the park, you can gather 6 feet away from each other without liquor.
There will be no summer festivals.
There will be no summer festivals. Everything's temporarily shut down. It's prohibited possession, consumption of alcohol, including beer, wine, champagne, all the way to July 23rd. And they said this is to help people stay at home. Because the thing is, we know the park right now, outside is really the only thing you can go to. So now they feel like we're taking advantage of this. And so since the taking advantage is happening, they have to shut it down. It can't be fun. You can't go and feel like this is fun. Let me go grab some friends. And I know today when I went on my walk, I seen a group of women, 9 a.m., gathered in the park. And they all had their little blankets. And they were probably like 3.5 feet from each other, not 6. And then they were sharing snacks, putting their hand in the same little thing, digging it out. And I was like, this is why we can't drink at the park. Because you guys are gathering. The people out there playing volleyball, everybody's touching that same ball, hitting it back and forth. You're gathering. This is why we're going to be on this stay-at-home order longer and longer and longer if you don't get it together, Colorado. Like, you have to get it together. It's a lot.
What do you think the economy is going to look like when they open it back up? Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be plenty of businesses that didn't make it.
There is. But the crazy thing is, and this is what I love most, is like talking to people in different states and things like that. And I always try to make sure I get a nationwide view. Because sometimes I think if you have a small lens, you can't see further than that. And so I know the economy is not going to be the same. There's going to be a lot of things that changes during this. But then I also see a lot of my friends that have been that are entrepreneurs like myself that have been doing contractual work, 1099 workers, things like that, are saying more than ever they are grateful for what they do because it's not regulated by the government and they can still get contracts and they can still make a difference. One of my girls even said she gave all her people a bonus during COVID because life has been that great. And so I think that it's going to change a lot, but I think that you decide how it changes for you. You decide what streams of income you welcome back into your life after this. You decide how you're going to play the game now. And maybe having a 9-to-5 isn't enough for you now. Maybe having one hustle isn't enough. Maybe you turn it into a business. Maybe having one business is not enough. But I do believe you have the power to decide. But I don't know, because I'm even looking like, how do we, anybody that knows, I do a lot of conferences and workshops. What do those look like? Do people still invest in conferences and workshops after this when it comes back? What are people going to invest in? What's going to happen? I don't know. I think a lot of things are going to change. But what I do say is that now is the best time to get someone on your side that can help you understand your financials. It's not about how much money you have, but what you do with the money that you have. And so I think that it's going to be necessary, especially for us in our Black community. And if we support one another, we'll get through it. We'll be okay. We'll be all right.
Dolores says her sound keeps going in and out. Does everybody sound good? Everybody sound good?
Does y'all sound good? Tell us.
Everybody, let us know how your sound is coming in. And in the meantime, so much going on.
So much. You know, Jenna Griswold sent me an email right before I got here. Excited to see that the Congress has given us a little bit more money. So anybody that knows that Paycheck Protection Program, the funds were dropped. They were gone immediately. Like, there was none of that. And so the Paycheck Protection Program was really for independent contractors, nonprofits, the smaller businesses, not small, but the non-corporate businesses that need to make payroll. But immediately those funds were gone and people were like, hey, I'm applying and there's nothing to grab. So Jenna sent me an email and said it has just been reinstated. Congress has now appropriated an additional $320 billion to this program. But these loans will be, these loans are unforgivable loans. So these are the type of loans you want. Anything that's an unforgivable loan, you want these. I'm sorry, a forgivable loan, you want these. So these are forgivable loans, but they are awarded at first come, first served basis.
I know some businesses that have received
That received it?
funding. Yeah.
And that's some black and brown businesses?
Yes.
That's amazing. I love to hear that.
Whittier Cafe.
Shout out to Whittier Cafe. You know, I had to go there and buy a bottle of wine as soon as it was shut down. I was like, wait,
But
what
you
are we
know
going
why
to do?
she got it?
Why?
It seems as though Wells Fargo was not giving people money.
I'm not surprised about that.
But the sisters at First Bank,
Come on, First Bank?
they knew they're making sure that
making
other
sure it
people.
happens.
That's why you got to have community banking and folks
There
that
you
know
go.
you, because it's
Yes.
like the hookup. Everyone's
It's
saying
like
the
the
sound
hookup.
sounds good, but I sound muffled. Shannon says I sound muffled.
He's muffled because he has on 10 masks. If you wore all your masks on it's like when somebody wears all their favorite outfits at once, so it just clashes. That's Brother Jeff right now. 10 masks on, he's definitely muffled. I think it's important that I don't know how many people listen to that when we tune in. We do our economic conferences and we do the Black Business Initiative. That's one thing we talk about: having a relationship with your banker, having a personal relationship, finding someone that looks like you that's going to care about you. They can't just look like you, but they have to look like you and care about you, or just care about what you have going on. Because those relationships are important. And we look at somebody like Whittier Cafe that now has gotten that paycheck protection, can now make sure their employees are good. It's because she had a relationship with the bank. Make sure you have those relationships, and make sure we know that there's now an extra $320 billion that you go out and apply, because nothing's gonna come and knock at your front door or drop into your bank account without you doing the work. This is the second round of funding.
If you're at the end of the line,
If you're at the end of the line, you're done.
The money's
it's gone. And that's one thing I'm gonna go ahead and, we give credit when credit's due right here at the Brother Jeff Network. We give credit when credit is due. Speaking of credit, go to brotherjeff.com right now. Any amount of donations keeps us up and running. 7 donations a day. But Colorado has been really fast in responding to requests. Now, I don't know if the response is going to be what you want to hear necessarily, but it has been a lot faster than the people that I've been getting in contact with, my New York people, my Detroit people, some of my Milwaukee people. They're like, we're in a system, we haven't heard back from unemployment, we haven't heard back from this. But most of the people out here that I have talked to, it has been, whether it's denial or approval, it's been fast in the response, but you have to apply. And so that's the key. I know even with the, I don't know if you guys knew, but on Monday it became open for any of those that were looking for the paycheck protection. I'm not the paycheck protection, but the unemployment, but you were a gig worker or you had some type of, you were 1099. That became open on Monday, but then you had to do it after that. You had to do it by last name. So you had to know when your last name hit, what day to apply. It does takes a little bit of tuning in and figuring out, and we want to help you bring more resources to the table. So make sure you're tuning in, because we will bring resources to you, but you have to take the next step in the resource. Like, it can't just be us giving you the resources. Take the next step.
I got some information.
Let me hear it.
Remember when we were doing the show, one of the shows, it was buffering a little bit, and we were trying to figure out what was going on. Well, not only did we purchase more bandwidth and faster speed because of the we're wider, we're faster, etc.
Okay.
But if you're experiencing internet problems right now, it's because there are a lot of people that are homeschooling, there's a lot of streaming, there's a lot of Zoom, and there's a lot of people working from home. And so the system in and of itself is being overburdened. Mm-hmm. And some of the difficulties you're receiving is just because there are more people online now than
ever before.
Ever.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's a real thing. Even in my house, I'm experiencing that. My internet it's not as it used to be. But it's because everybody's at home and everybody's tuning into something on the internet. So if you're not tuning into us, I don't know who you're tuning into, to make sure you share this to a friend today on the Brother Jeff Network, and make sure that you tell someone else to tune in. But it's real. So if you're experiencing those, just know a lot's going on. Salute to New York. That's my second home, so I always have to give them props when props are due. Once again, the hospital, which is one of the largest hospital systems, they're giving $2.5K bonus to all their working hospital workers. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Anybody that's working through the coronavirus that is in the hospital field, they're giving them $2.5K. And we know that they deserve way more than that, and there's no amount of money for keeping your family member alive, but I feel like people still should be rewarded on some level, especially if you're sitting at home getting unemployment. Why not the people that are risking their lives to get something extra?
Like my mail carrier.
Like your mail carrier. What about the janitor lady that's just grabbing the stuff and throwing the stuff away and doing that stuff? I'm just hoping that people start to follow suit. Don't let, and when we tell you about good things, it's not just to tell you, but it's hope to inspire someone to say, hey, I have the ability to do that in my company. I have the ability to bless someone else. I have the ability. Why not? Right?
Chubby Curls, Manushka, she's online. She says shout out to her New York
That's
peeps.
my
She's
girl.
a Queens girl.
That's a woo-woo. Queens, see, I'm Harlem, but you know I love you out there in Queens too. Harlem girl, 153rd and 8th Avenue. And anybody knows anything about New York, you have to say your street too, because it's this thing when we start yelling out streets. First we tell people our barrels, then we tell them our streets. It's this thing out there, you know. You got to be cool though to know about it. But hey. And I'm looking at people, you know, because they're talking about this flexibility on how much you would give people. And so they've really been having this big argument about giving people this $2,000 a month. Saying, well, what if we start giving people $2,000 a month, you know, in unemployment, and this exceeds what they would have gotten before? We don't want to give them this if they weren't making this on their own. And so it really baffled my mind that this was an argument that was happening, because this should be an argument about wages then. If your argument is you're afraid to give somebody over $2,000 a month or around $2,000 a month because they might not have made that without you, then you need to hire the wages, not hurt the people and say we're not going to help you and bail you out in a time where you actually need the help. Like, let's look at these arguments and what argument are you really having? Because $2,000 a month is not really livable anywhere except for a bare minimum of like, I ain't living and I can't do much else. So what are we really doing? And I think you're seeing.
What are we doing with our money in Colorado when Wells Fargo keeps getting jammed up for cheating? But did you know that the state, we put out our money in Wells Fargo? Why don't we put it in First Bank?
Why Wells Fargo? What? And you know, I've reached out to Wells Fargo numerous times and have never got them to support one of our businesses, one of our events ever. They've never supported. Never.
No.
And so I just, you know, I have a thing about Wells Fargo. I'm not a Wells Fargo fan on any level. And be careful when I think this is the time to you start to look at who's putting back into the community. If we're having issues like this with Wells Fargo, I hope that you think about not banking with people like this and putting more investment and more of your money in that. And where do you move that and be appreciated and watch them give back to your community and open up doors for yours and support businesses? I always look on people's flyers and say, who backed this up? Who was your support system on this? Because now I know they're not just talking the talk, but they're actually walking the walk. You know?
And you know they got sued for redlining. They were great.
They're a part of it.
Participating and making sure that inequity continues. And I keep saying I'm gonna close my account there, but I only keep like $3 in there. You know. But
You want to keep like $3 though? Okay, I get it though. I get it.
I'm moving it. I'm moving it.
You gonna move it?
Yep.
We're holding you to this. Brother Jeff is moving his account for Wells Fargo. Move your account for Wells Fargo.
I've got some
Why
accounts
not?
in all of these banks. There's just a little bit in there.
Just a little bit, just to keep things moving and going and doing.
But okay.
But yeah, they don't support us. They're not for us.
I'm going straight First Bank.
There we go, First Bank. I like that.
First Bank.
I'm a key banker right now. And what I do like about KeyBank, when all this happened, they reached out to me and was like, do you need a small business loan? How are you going to pay your employees? What's going on? Like they reached out to me, and I really love that about them.
I got a bank account at a credit union too. I forgot what it's called.
Which credit union?
It's the one, they changed their name. I think it's Compass or something like that.
Okay, all right.
I've got money there, but I just haven't used the account. I'm going to go
He's sitting on all the money.
I'm going to go with my...
Are you banking black yet, though? Are you banking black?
Well, we used to have Zion Credit Union, but we don't have anything local.
There's no local bank black. We got to figure out what we're going to do to bank black. I know that's something, a big deal that Metro Deep has been looking at over and over, ran by Benzel Jimerson, about how do we bank black and make sure that we circulate those dollars back in the community. Because my problem is when you sit your money somewhere and they don't put stuff back into the community, what are we really doing and who are we really doing it with? You know, I think this has been a reflective time during COVID to really ask yourself some questions of who are you supporting that's not supporting you back? How are you showing up? Well, all those things, who's not showing up for you? And then look at who even called and checked on you, just little things. And then who can't check on their stuff? There's just so many levels to this thing, but it's definitely shining a light on a lot of things. And I think it's really shining a light too of being black while wearing a mask. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's being black by wearing a mask.
Yeah.
In 1951, there was a law that stated a person is guilty of a misdemeanor when he wears a mask, a hood, or any device where a portion of their face is hidden, concealed or covered. They said this was not obeying the law, and in any way you became public property, or if you were on public property or private property, there had to be written permission from an owner in order to be on those properties, or you were automatically guilty because your face was hidden. And so I don't think people look at this, because this is a real thing for black people. This is why the fear became from black men being labeled as suspicious, being detained if they had because we know black things are hoodies. So they had on hoodies, being shot, being killed, being detained, being looked at as suspicious, because in 1951 this law came into play. And so when we looked at coronavirus coming and how is this going to look in the middle of a pandemic, there was somebody that stood up and said, we need to make sure that we are holding elected officials accountable, and make sure they know the will of the people that need to be met during a sensitive time like this. We need to make sure the public health and the public safety of our people are good. And so Gerald Griggs, an attorney VP, and he's also a part of the NAACP Atlanta branch, he started immediately taking action to call an anti-mask law during COVID-19, making sure that this pandemic did not make more black people disappear from being killed because they look suspicious. He said it had to take place, and he was calling everybody from the governor in Georgia to sign the executive orders to make sure this petition went out, that this law had to be removed. He said during the pandemic, the one thing I don't want to see is black people fearing for their lives when they already are being targeted by an unknown virus. And so now looking at this, there was a protest before about it. It started to move forward, and he's getting a lot of people online. Keisha Bottoms, one person that I love right there in Atlanta, they're getting behind him in this, and they're saying, how can we make sure that we change the legal papers, change the legislation, and we make sure that black people are not being targeted because they look suspicious.
Well, what does it say that you can get folks to quit targeting us and shooting us and all of that during the coronavirus, but they can't figure it out without the virus?
Without the virus, it's not going to happen. Everything's going to change, and black people are still going to be a target. That's pretty much how the world's been moving. So what does that look like? And I mean, then you have even like somebody of a position of power, like Keisha Bottoms, her, the mayor of New York, and she gets a tweet that says, do we say the word? It says N-word, make you guys feel comfortable. N-word, just shut up and reopen Atlanta. She said that she got this text. She was sitting with her daughter. Her daughter was looking over her shoulder. They were looking at something else on TikTok. She received this message, and it said, just shut up and reopen Atlanta. And it's just sad to see even people in position of power still feel the weight of being black.
Man.
And how do you deal with something like that when you simply are trying to protect your people, because you're looking at the numbers, you're looking at the level of disparity, and you're seeing that your community is being hit harder than anybody, because yes, they're the essential workers. Yes, they're still on public transportation. Yes, they can't do 6 feet apart because they're in buildings where they have to touch the same elevator, they have to walk through the same hallways. Yes, they are living in communities where they can't go out and say, give me space, because the community is this tight. And you're saying, I don't want you to go out yet because it's not safe. Yet you have somebody like Kim opening up Georgia saying, go to the bowling alley, go get your hair done, and live your best life. And you're just trying to protect your people because you see them dying at a rapid rate. And then they say, nigga, just shut up and open up Atlanta.
Wow.
This is the truth. This is what's happening right now.
We can stop killing you during the coronavirus, but we can't figure out how to stop.
But during the regular life, hey, take your chances.
We got to do implicit bias trainings. We got to do all these different things. But when it's the coronavirus, they're saying, okay, put on the mask and we'll figure out how to stop killing.
And that's why I think you got to look at the things that are solved when it's convenient to solve them, and who solves them, who solves these problems at a convenient time. Because everything seems to be solved. The money that couldn't be found to give Flint, Michigan water, all of a sudden there's money to give people here, there, and everywhere. I think that it's just really ironic, and this is why us as a culture, we have to come together more than ever and make sure that we rally together in order to love on one another and to make this a better place for you and I amongst one another. Because from the outside looking in, I don't see them caring about us. I don't see that happening. I don't see them highlighting that. I don't see them highlighting all the amazing things that are going on in the black neighborhoods, all the black institutes that are giving to the coronavirus time after time after time during this time when we know that there's bigger sources that have way more, but right in our own communities, people like Struggle or Love are giving and giving and giving. And so it just makes me question. I'm looking at this, there's a group of African-American doctors. They launched a Black Doctors COVID group. It is to provide free mobile testing. So they go around and they do free mobile testing in communities to help prevent the spread of the virus, the further spread of the virus. We know it's spread, but the further spread of the virus among black people. They said they realized it was a real thing that black people did not have access to the testing. They were not privy to this type of access. So they decided to come together. There's a group of doctors that did not necessarily know each other before. There was one lady, Dr. Sanford, and she started getting a different group of ladies and saying, can we bring our resources together? You bring some tests from your area, I'll bring some tests from my area. You bring some of that, we'll come together, and then we'll go out to the community and test them with our testing kits and put our supplies together. And they went out to the community, and now they're making an amazing impact. And there were so many people that had no idea they had it, of course, and found out because this group of black doctors decided to, black and some Latino too, black and Latino doctors came together and decided we are going to be the COVID relief in our community. And it's a beautiful thing. They have a GoFundMe page for the COVID-19 testing for advocating and educating black and Latino peoples on the virus. And they're saying, please, if you can, donate, but if not, it doesn't matter because they're doing the work. And I think we have to make sure we pin a flower and we say thank you to those in our community that are already doing the work. Because it's taking us, it's taking each of us to make this work.
Well, I know that Whittier Cafe was received some of that stimulus money to take care of their payroll. I hope the Welton Street Cafe got it too.
I hope so too. I gotta call them and ask. I haven't talked to Fatima.
And I'm not talking about the grant money. I'm talking about the federal money.
The federal big money.
So that you can take care of your employees.
Yeah.
Here's some money you don't have to pay back as long as you put it toward payroll. I want to make sure that Welton Street Cafe is in there.
Me too. I absolutely want to make sure of that. And I think that that's, Catfish Haven as well. All of our black companies, I want to know, tell me, let us know, tap in with us, let us know, have you been funded, have you received the help you need, what else is it that you need, how can we support, do you have something going on that we can support? Because I feel like anything I have, if I give, I'm going to receive it back. If you give, you're going to get it back, but we're in this thing together. And we have to make and I've been making sure, that's one thing. I want to say shout out to my people in the mayor's office that have been taking my ridiculous calls and emails and texts because I ask questions. I want to know what's going on. I want to know who are we helping.
The money yet?
Brother Jeff, I said shout out to the people that were in his office taking my calls, is what I said.
Okay.
There's this creative grant going out, and Boulder, I think Boulder is leading by example. I'm a creative person, so I'm always about what's happening for those of you that have decided to live this creative life and do all these different things. And Boulder took the whole thing by storm, and they said, creatives, what we're doing for you is we're doing something additional. We know there's that creative loan grant out there, whatever one you decide to go for, but also we're saying if you can help relieve some of this stress during coronavirus, we want to pay you to do that. So they're paying artists to do anything that the artist does. So if you're a singer, they're saying go sing at the hospital. Give the relief to the workers in there. If you're an artist, draw a picture. If you do poetry, recite some poem on this website. Whatever it is that you do, they're allowing you to do that in Boulder, and they're paying you to do it. And I think that's just a beautiful thing to see them really banding together. And I think some people can take notice of that. There's also something that's going on about DJs. For DJs, they did a big fund for DJs because they know DJs' main source usually are in the clubs. They're out there, they're doing their thing. And so they said, we're gonna do a DJ relief package. And now they're giving out people. I know our own guy here, Top Shelf, he received $500 from the DJ Coalition.
Okay.
So shout out to the DJs, making sure they're taking care of one another.
No shout out for Facebook for not letting Brother Jeff play any music.
Yeah, no shout out for that at all. That's okay, we're gonna get an original track by Such. My girl Such is gonna come through with an original track because they hate on us with the music. But DJ EJ, we see you, brother. I'm super excited to talk about this virtual prom that is going to take place. Aurora has decided to take on the virtual prom. Aurora Public School System, they're doing a virtual prom. My guy DJ EJ will be your official DJ. He will be taking song requests. He will be making sure the party stays live, because anybody that knows DJ EJ, he knows how to make a party right. He's one of my favorite in the game. He'll be hosting this virtual prom, and it will they're saying everybody, what they're doing with this virtual prom, which I think is amazing, is they're making people feel like they're included. You can invite your family, you can invite your other people, or it can just be you. But the virtual prom, best backdrop wins too. So the best backdrop behind you. You can upload your TikTok videos. So best TikTok videos. They're giving gift cards. I was going to ask you that.
What is
now, you're at home with the kids. You haven't done one TikTok with the kids yet?
I don't know what TikTok is.
Oh.
I heard the name, but I don't know.
Do you want a TikTok?
I heard that the people from China were
want a TikTok?
taking our information and
what?
I don't know.
What do you mean? Oh my God.
They were saying that
TikTok is a
from-
dancing site. It's a dancing site. You do this site and you TikTok and they give you the dance moves and then you do it too. And then everybody does it to the same songs, but everybody's doing the same dance move. There's a family ones, there's friend, like 2 people, there's one by yourself. All these TikToks. So you're all doing these dance moves and there's somebody that shows you the dance moves though. And then everybody watches you do it to the same song. It's a crazy thing right now because it's going around the nation. Everybody's TikToking. There's some really cute mother-daughter ones. There was a challenge, the Don't Rush Challenge. Shout out to the Denver black businesswomen that got in the Don't Rush Challenge. I seen Jice Johnson on it. I seen Monique on it from Bougie Girls. I seen, I believe Karen Atkins was on it. There was a couple different ladies on it, but they did a Don't Rush Challenge. And it's like where you show up in your regular clothes and then you show your business card and you're in your business clothes. And it was really cute and sexy. And so TikTok really allows you just to kind of play a little bit, have some fun. It's this new craze, and the kids love it, adults love it, families love it, and so it's fun.
Does it require a password? Because I'm at my password limit. I can't remember one more password.
I literally just had this conversation the other day. I'm so tired of passwords and the ones that don't store and I have to recreate a password. I'm over it. But Jeff, I don't have a TikTok, so I don't know if it requires a password. I get on my goddaughters. I'll hop on my goddaughters or my nephews.
I'm getting nothing that requires a password.
Yeah.
I don't care what.
So I don't know if you can be on TikTok. I need somebody at
even
your house
if
to
I
get
take
TikTok.
my money out of Wells Fargo Bank, if the next one says I need a password,
It's done. It's done with it. Somebody get Brother Jeff on TikTok at home. I would love to see you just do one good TikTok. It's keeping people going during this crazy time. Hey, why not? A little bit of fun. But the virtual prom will say the best TikToking contest, uploading videos of family and fun. And so I think it's important. We know the seniors are missing out really big this year in 2020. So anyway, we can make them feel like they're a part of a piece of normality. And I was talking to one of my friends about it. I said, I think I actually would have preferred that than the prom I had because prom was not fun, but it was really overrated. But I think this one could be fun. Virtual prom. DJ EJ, I know he's gonna hold down the tunes.
But the proms now, I mean, since the guys and the girls don't dance together anymore,
It's
and the girls go
dumb.
with the girls and the guys go with the guys,
Yeah.
why do a prom?
Why do a prom for what? And you know, that was one thing my mom was really big on because we tried, like, I think it got right at our age when it started being that weird stuff where you went in groups and all that. And my mom was like, absolutely not. It's not an option. You're going to a prom with this guy, and your friends are going to prom with guys too. And if you don't have a date, and even if your friends don't have a date, I'll help them find one. But you're not going without a guy. You're not doing it. You're going to prom, you're taking regular pictures, and you're going to be a normal girl and a guy. And I was like, oh, okay. But I'm grateful for the experience. It was an amazing experience just to say I went, but I don't know. I think I would have liked a virtual prom. I think it would have kind of been cool.
It fits with the times.
It fits with the times. I get it. And even if this wasn't happening, we should have found a way to do virtual prom and regular prom or something of that sort. I think it fits. A lot less, humping around. But at the Brother Jeff Cultural Center, if you're driving by, there are condoms out there. If you need a couple
Why
condoms.
pay for condoms when you can get them here free?
Why pay for condoms? You can get them here for free. We keep you
Always.
stocked up. They're outside, so you don't have to come in. You don't have to touch another COVID bodies. They were put in with gloves in the little system. So we say, stay safe. And I asked when I came in today, I said, are people really still having sex? I don't really know what's going on. It's COVID. I don't know. It's a new normal. And Brother Jeff said,
it's like comfort food.
it's like comfort food. And I know we're eating everything at my household. We're comforted. So that means if you don't want to have Quarantina and Quarantini and Kwame Quarantine, we have some condoms for you up here. You can just drive on by right on Wall Street, grab your condom and go. Because if you're not getting your funds, if no one's supporting you, if no one's cut you a check, you don't want to spend any unnecessary money. So you can come right down here and grab you some free condoms because I know there's a lot going on out here. It's a lot. Hey.
Are they still teaching sex in schools? Because now that school's out.
Now that school's out, what are you teaching your kids at home?
Teaching them kids at
What
home.
you teaching them kids? We got questions.
I want to hear them parents talk
Please,
to their kids
parents.
about sexual. I want to hear that. I want to hear them parents talk to their kids about sex.
I do too. Cause I'm like, we're good at complaining. That's one thing. Wait, I just seen a meme too, Brother Jeff, where it was like, black people complain when they shut down the world, and then it's like, announcement, we're open back up. Black people, why the hell they gonna open up now? Like, we are good at complaining. That is one thing we're good at. We have told you over and over. We've complained that the school system's not doing it for our black and brown students, which we know is very true and is a real thing. But what are you doing at home in your teaching sessions? How are you teaching your kids? Especially things that you don't want somebody else to teach your kids.
You know, it's interesting that I'm hearing parents say, and it's real, I mean, it's legitimate.
Yeah.
But folks are upset that the schools are closed down, not because the kids are not being properly educated, but it's impacting their ability to go to work.
That's real, Brother Jeff.
I'm like, what?
They are. My thing is that their baby safety is everything, right?
They're mad because school won't open because they can't go to work.
And you can't be mad because schools are closed down because you can't go to work. I get it though. You got to get to work, you got to make your bread, you got to make sure you provide for your household. But I think the safety of your babies have got to mean more. Like, I don't feel, I'm not a parent, you know, so sometimes I try to reserve some of my comments.
No, are we using education?
But
are we using,
I won't judge you, however.
Are we using the school system for education or just childcare?
For childcare. Because if you can tell me that you are not approving of what your child's being taught, or you realize that there is an education gap in what your child and the white student next to your child is being taught, if you can see that education gap, but yet you are very upset because you can't get to work the way you need to, it is more now of a convenience tool. Because I think we get used to a normal, we get used to this is how I go, this is what I do, I drop you off at this time, I pick you up, and then I do this. We get used to things, and it's no shade, but it's saying, get used to changing everything up.
Is it the responsibility?
Get used to everything being different.
Is it the responsibility of the government to educate your children in the form of childcare so you can go to work? That's what I want to know.
It's not. It's not the responsibility, but the unfortunate thing is, if they're not paying you over $2,000 a month, hey, what can you afford to do? So you've had to lean where you can lean. You got to lean in where you can lean in. You got to find little gaps where you can find them, because this is the reality. Parents can't even afford childcare barely. The reality is real. So they use a public school system, and it has been their crutch, not realizing that they didn't really think about the education piece about it. The education piece was third, fourth, sixth dairy. You know?
It's a serious
thing.
Question.
It's a serious question. And then when they're looking at when do we come back to school, is it going to happen right away? Next year? Is it not? And I know parents are like, wait a minute. Whoa. Who's opening for homeschool?
How many people have suspended their children from home right now?
Time and time again. I've heard it. I've been on the phone with some of you. And if you didn't suspend your kid, I would have expelled them. Because those kids are unruly. And I'm like, how do you expect them to listen to other teachers? They don't even listen to you, man. I'm just saying.
They're just kids.
It's a little bit of both. You know, it's just a level of, and I think a lot of it too is that when you understand, I think upbringings are different. And because I'm an only child, I really look at a lot of things. I understood, like, there was adult time, there was my time, there was quiet time, there was loud time, there was you might be seen a little bit, but don't be heard, or there was those times. So my thing is, if my mom was on the phone and she was like, I'm in an important business meeting, I was just quiet. I just disappeared, because that's what I knew to do. So it's really hard for me sometimes when I have to hear somebody recorrecting you and recorrecting you and recorrecting you and recorrecting you and recorrecting you, and for me to say, they're just being kids. I wasn't allowed just to be a kid, I guess. I don't know. It's a lot. But then it's like, and I think, and it depends on the age too. At what age do we say they're just being kids and now they're just not listening to you? At what age is that?
And how fast did you understand that you cannot work and homeschool at the same time?
How fast? What did it take you? Which week was that? I think it was week 1.5 for a lot of you.
Like,
week 1.5, you were like, one of us got to go, and it's not going to be me because I got to get this report done. I don't know. It was real. It's real out there. When did you realize?
It's hard educating these children.
It's hard educating the kids, keeping yourself up, paying them bills, not knowing when your next check is coming in. It's hard cooking 18, 15 times a day, trying to keep it healthy, trying to keep it balanced, trying to keep it different, trying to keep it unique, but not going to the store too much. It's just a lot.
Corona got us educated.
Woo, God, I've been more educated than ever before. I don't know how many self-helps, do-it-yourself, all them things I looked at. And ladies, I see you trying to redo your nails, trying to be the new little nail tech, and you're not quite getting it right. You know, try not to cut your man with your feet in the bed. I get it. It's a lot. We're trying to figure it all out. We're trying to be our best us in this new normal. It's a lot. We're just trying to keep up. But I believe in you. I think you got this. You made it this far.
They say that the salons are going to be offering, you got to sign a waiver before they can do your hair.
Yeah. Brother Jeff, how do you feel about that? Come on.
He don't care.
Because your hair is lovely.
My head is Chevy Curls shine.
Chevy Curls
clean.
Educating the natural scout one head at a time. You know, shout out to Jason McBride, who made it out the hospital finally after about 5 days in the hospital. And I'm glad to see your full recovery. But that was one of the first things he said to me when he got to the hospital was that he needed a haircut. Yeah. And it blew my mind. And I was like, where are you going? Who cares?
Gerald said he gonna grow some dreads if he don't get to the bar.
Well, lock it up. My thing is that's too close contact. You don't know who's wiping what down in my house. I can regulate some things, and then you don't want too many people in and out your house. And then I even had that conversation with my grandmother, like, girl, you want to know who's doing nails and hair? The cemetery. You want to go to the morgue since you want your nails and hair done so bad? The mortuary is doing a real good up to, making your nails real natural and cute. You can wait. You can wait it out. I believe you can wait it out. And not till I'm not talking about wait it out for another week. I'm talking about wait it out. Because I feel like that close contact isn't necessary yet. I understand paying the bills. So beauticians, get your bread, get your money. I get it. But to my elderly community or my most vulnerable, let's think about how we roll this thing back in. Because I don't know if you can fight like Brother Jeff's been doing with his black belt entries. I don't know if you that good yet. I don't know if you had the Kung Fu Pao because he has all the moves. So I'm just saying, let's be smart. Let's treat this thing like it may be our last day, because literally we've lost a lot of people and it's been their last day. And black people, we need you here to survive.
What's the world gonna look like after we can go back outside?
I hope it doesn't look like too white. I hope we're still here, because the way we're going, dropping off like flies, I hope it looks like a melting pot. So I don't know what it's gonna look like. Every place I don't even recognize places that are closed now, because you're used to seeing action around them. So I'm like, is that I don't know what it's gonna look like.
I know one thing,
are you
around
ready?
The country, people are seeing things they haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Your eyes are open more, we're way more aware. Yeah. Absolutely. And I've been doing things, and I realized too, shout out to my makeup artists, my stylist, all the people that I have in the home, because doing things yourself, everybody that I had doing things yourself is real. I've been really like, so if I don't have all those people, I have to do all these skin treatments, and I have to care for myself like I've never cared before, because somebody can't just come and whip it up and turn on the camera and say lights, camera, action. They're like, sorry, ma'am, social distancing. And so it just has really made me appreciate a lot of things and realize the small things, the big things in between, not being able to spend time with my family like that. I'm a family girl, not being able to just roll up at my mom's house and walk in the door. She's talking about meet her at the screen. Who wants to meet you at the screen, lady?
I got in trouble for not letting family members in and around.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I'd rather you be alive.
You can't.
It's such a balance beam, because it's like, I don't have, let me in, black people, I ain't got it. Like, you don't even know if you don't have it, sir. So I'm not going to let you in.
Right.
No, you can't, because the risk is too high, especially if you have people with these immune diseases and you have people that are at high risk. You have to be extremely careful. And so I get it. You have to be careful. And I've been at that place now at my house. Like, you can't even get into my house until you go through all these systems and stuff. So it's ridiculous. But you can't come over right now.
Asymptomatic.
I'm tired of arguing with black folks about the Rona.
Me too. Black people, we have this big distrust. Our favorite thing is not to trust nobody. So we don't believe nothing we hear, nothing we see. We like, people are dying. They're not dying from the Rona. They're just dying. Like, we just don't believe anything. So it's a hard one. But one thing I do know is that we need you here, and we need you in this community. And together we are so much better. So thank you for everybody for your encouraging comments, for uplifting one another. Shout out to my crew, Keeper Society, my girl crew, that we just make sure we get in and tap in with each other at least once a week, just to encourage one another to stay strong, and that we got this and we can do this, and it's necessary, because we can together. We can. Make sure you still wash your hands. We do. We absolutely do. Somebody knows a long time ago, I was always this thing is I am my sister's keeper. It was my thing for a while before Barack Obama, my guy, came out with Brother's Keeper and all the things happened, and then Hancock had his, my brother's keeper, and all these things happened. I started doing this thing, I am my sister's keeper, but it was a key, like K-E-Y, because it was like I had the key to unlock anything I wanted. And shout out to my girl, Shay Johnson, who came in this year and was like, I stopped it, because we were doing it for a while, then we stopped it, and she's like, hey, I want to start another women's group, and I want something that we can be authentically ourselves. And I told her about Keeper, and she's like, let's redo it, let's do it, let's bring it back to life. So we started our women's group. It's about 22 of us right now, and we just have a strong group of women in all different walks of life doing amazing things right here. And it's mainly women in Colorado. And we just support one another. And we say, how can I support you? How can I be there for you? How can I uplift you? How can I, especially, and I think we didn't realize how necessary this was until COVID hit. And we all started being authentic in the same, and realizing we were going with the same struggles, the same pains, and those things really became that crutch for one another. And it's just beautiful to have that. And I just say, you need one another during this time. You think you can get through this alone, but you can't. You have to have some type of support system. And my girls, they got it going, and we do our little happy hour on Saturday. So we did our happy hour last Saturday, and our happy hour started at about 6 p.m. and we got out of happy hour about 11:35, 12 a.m. You don't realize how much you need each other until you kind of just get there and get in that space, and you're able to just let your hair down. Like, I didn't have to be cute, because when I'm in Zoom meetings, I try to at least put on a little lip gloss and, put my hair up or something. But we could just be ourselves, and it was beautiful. It's beautiful. Right. Yeah, they got to talk about how their kids were getting on their nerves. I got to talk about how I didn't have any running around the house. We talk about it all, from business to pleasure to all of it. All of it. Yeah, you need somebody that you can just be you with. So I hope you found that during this COVID time while you're alone. I hope you reevaluated your circle, who you have around. And if anybody follows me on Instagram, you can follow me at I am Shay J. But that was my Instagram quote on yesterday. It said, if you want to change your life, change the room. Change the room. Change the room that you're in. Change the people that you surround yourself by. It will absolutely change your life. And then the key to that, though, is your mindset has to be changed. You can't go in the room being the same old person that you used to be. But you got to change the room, change your influence, your network of influence, your circle of influence. Change that. Change your mindset, and ultimately your life will get better and better and better. I challenge you, community, to be better during this time, because you are better, and together we'll get through this. Again, go to brotherjeff.com, any amount of donation to keep us up and running, because we are powered by the people, and we love you, community. Together, we can get through this, right?
Keep talking.
Brother Jeff said to keep talking.
The cleaning crew's gonna come in a second.
Oh, the cleaning crew's coming. I'll let you know, we have another segment coming, because it's Fun Friday, and since I can't hang out with my guy JB on the mic, he'll be here a little bit. He just walked in the door. We're still social distancing, but John Bowman will be here with that good news for you, keeping you informed with his NAACP uniform on. And I love this is his little uniform. He has a bandana, the NAACP, and that's why I love to see that these community, I think community partnerships have been stronger than ever. So if you didn't tune in last week at 6 p.m., we had the Urban Leadership Foundation directed by the Dr. Ryan Ross. If you didn't tune in, that is still available. Check out our amazing interview talking to them about what they have going on, their 12 p.m. refreshers that are free to the community to log in, do yoga, they do comedy, they do music, they keep you going, and I just love to see that. And they're also making sure that they are educating entrepreneurs on how to be the best and to lead in their style of leading. So there's a lot going on, but make sure you guys stay tuned, because together in the community we have some amazing things going on. Again, make sure you stay tuned right here, because we have a special show coming up with John Bowman. I appreciate each and every one of you, and if you didn't tell somebody about the show today, make sure you tell them to tune in. We're here Monday through Friday. And if you go down swinging. You might score a knockout. Rumble on, community. Rumble on. I'm your girl, Shay J, the Brother Jeff Network, Free Think Zone. I appreciate you. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Love on one another. And remember, the best is yet to come. Thank you.
Tell them here I come.
Here we come. Cleaning crew's coming. John Bowman will be here. The cleaning crew. The cleaning crew, I think, is Brother Jeff, but he's a good cleaning crew. Make sure you donate. We appreciate you all. Peace and love.
All right.
I like your song. Look at the cleaning crew. You're up. John! What up? What up?
Yeah. we still live. It's just the cleaning crew set up.
We got our love, and no matter how we say our love, we are
JB, we're live, so you guys have to turn that off.
Oh, my bad.
All right. Shay J, they're watching the cleaning crew get out right now.
Go ahead, clean crew. Show what we do. Let them know that we're.
Show them how the cleaning crew gets down.
Safety in the freaking zone. It's all safe.
Show them how the cleaning crew gets down.
Cleaning crew is ready. Look at you.
The cleaning crew
You know,
gets
we're gonna
down.
and everything.
The cleaning crew. Well, JB, we're gonna need you to turn that off. All right.
Who is that? That's so dumb.
Grab your pillow, JB. Let's roll. It's time to roll. You all over there playing. All right, you all. Here we go. Here we go. All right, JB. Time to dance over here.
People were texting me that the big section is everything.
All right, JB. Hit them with the trigger alert.
Man. You know, hey, this is a show that triggers people. You know, we're glad you tuned in, but you're in the free think zone right now.
What?
So, you know, if you're not willing to be exposed to other people's points of view, tune out. Just tune out.
Now.
Do something else. Go watch an episode of Frasier. You know, that's what you're doing all day long. That's all you can do. Let me watch something. Let me watch a sitcom. Hey, happy Ramadan.
There we go.
Happy Ramadan, my brothers and sisters. Oh, yeah, I got to do it this way. Wakanda, this way. Right over left. That's it. Look, man, this is, I had to pull my bandana down. Look, man, it's just like that. You know what? You know what's pissing me off? The people, see, we got a tag team, my wife and I. So she'll go in to the store, I'll sit in the car. And I'm watching all the people going in. Man, somebody needs to bang somebody on their head for not wearing a mask, okay? This is not over. This is not over. That's all I can tell you. And what's going to end up happening? We're going to have a relapse.
Don't say that.
We're going to have hey, if you don't wear, if you're behind somebody in the store and they ain't got no mask on, you better turn around and go the other way. Just turn around and go the other way. Because if people don't wear a mask, it ain't even right. That's all I'm telling. Look, it should be mandatory. Masks should be mandatory to get in a store or a shop or anywhere. I'm sorry. You know, now I've seen the people are getting arrested. People are getting arrested for wearing a mask. They're getting arrested in the Walmart for not having them for having a mask on. Black folks, that is. Black and brown folks. I like wearing the mask. I would wear the mask. I would wear a mask every day. I'm not trying to be racialistic, but you see Japanese and Chinese folks that are in America, they got two things. And I'm just saying, they got a camera around their neck taking pictures of everything, and they got a mask on. This was before Corona. This is way before Corona. People from Asia will wear a mask and not care. Gerald, you see them walking around, they got a camera and they got a mask. I don't know where they're from. I'm just assuming that by the look that they're Asian, but they got a mask and they got a camera. And they're not Brother Jeff. Now you see Brother Jeff? 9 times out of 10, he got a camera too. But those Asians, they know something we don't know. They know something we don't know. Look, when this is over, I might still be wearing masks. I'm done with handshaking. I ain't shaking nobody's hand no more. So if you put out your hand, I'm not being mean. I'm not being an ass. I'm just saying I'm not down with that no more. That handshaking, man. I remember, you know how the kids after they play a game, they line up and they go by each other and they shake hands and the sportsmanship and all that. Well, you know, when the white teams play a black team, and I've seen this more often than not, the white kids will spit in their hand, and they'll go through and they'll give high fives.
What?
Oh yeah. And then when the black kids don't shake or don't give them a high five back, people are in the stands, they don't know what's going on. They're like, oh, they're unsportsmanlike. Oh, they're being, man, please. You know what? I give kids all the credit in the world. They know what's going on. They know what was said on the field, who called who a name, and all of that. And so they know whether to shake hands or not. And you see some of the officials, they'll be telling them, hey, you got to shake hands, you got to shake hands. The kids already know. The kids already know. Shaking hands wasn't about it, okay? I did stop on the way down here at one of the medical shops. Got me some Lysol chewables and
Mandate of Donald Trump.
got some Lysol chewables and some gummy bear Clorox chews, and I think I'm set for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Look, I know Shay J talked about it, but I got to talk about it because everybody got a take on it. Look, the man said, inject yourself with some Clorox. I don't know how much dumber he can get.
Oh, he can get dumb.
I guess he can. But look, inject yourself with. No, this is what he said. He put Dr. Bricks on the front row. She had a different scarf on today. She got more scarves than Louis Vuitton. She got a scarf for every day. She chokes them up. She had one the other day that was over her whole personage. I was like, man, this lady got some scarves, Versace scarves. She got every kind. So Trump says, now, doctor, how about, you say this C-19 virus is gets put out by heat and light, ultraviolet light, I think, or something like that. The only thing you know about it is getting your morning tan on with your goggles on. You can see the white goggle outline. You're not Tab Hunter. You're not that guy. You're an old man, an old fat man who puts on his orange makeup every day. Man, that song the ladies got out, I don't know if you've seen it. She said, what's the name of that song? Man, she talks about how he gets up in the morning, puts his makeup on, his orange face. Come on, man. This guy came out and said, look, get you some Clorox, get you some disinfectant, and put it on your skin or under your skin. Inject it. I'm just saying. That is about the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard in my life. The dumbest. When you look at a bottle of Clorox, I'm going to bring the bottle of Clorox out here and set it on here and show you poison, do not ingest, not for eating, drinking, or whatever.
And that's why you sing that song, I Say a Little Prayer for You.
Exactly. So look, all I know is whatever that fool says to do the opposite. Because when him and Rudy came out with this hydrochloroquine or whatever that thing is and told people to use it, look, they had money in that. And the thing is, the first time he said it, some of his deplorables took it. And the husband and wife both died. I don't know if it was from the hydrochloroquine queen, whatever. I don't know. But that was enough for me not to say I would take it. Somebody died from it and it's supposed to help you? No, I'm pass on that. I'll pass on that one. Hey, did you hear this one? Osama bin Laden. Some new tapes came out And Osama bin Laden said, I'm going to assassinate President Obama, Barack Obama. I'm going to assassinate him. You know why? Because he knew Joe Biden, vice president, was not ready to be president. That's what he said, not me. I'm not saying this. I'm relating. I'm the messenger here. So Osama was going to kill Obama so old Joe would be in the White House and be the president. Now, two ways to look at this. Two ways to look at this. Was it really Osama? Or was it old Putin? Okay? Because everything that happens for a reason and happens because something is, okay? So now for this to come out now, I don't know, Osama died, 5-6 years ago. Something like that, maybe even more. He got shot 5-6 years ago. So I don't know if it's the bots are active again. See, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. In Nigeria and Ghana, the Russian operatives are using black Africans and getting their emails down there, and they're sending emails to us in America. And they're hitting black folks because they know we react to everything. We react crazy or we react this way or that way. So they're putting that stuff out already. I mean, we're only, how far from the election? 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, whatever it is. We're right there. So all these kind of stories that come out like this, Joe Biden is crazy. That's why we want him in the White House. Come on, man. I don't know if it's true or not. Sounds good. I don't know. I'm just not sure. Hey, news of the day out of Mount Bello. I don't know if this means the C-19 virus is ebbing, but we're starting to get shootings out in the neighborhood again. Man shot in the back in Mount Bello. Not expected to pass away, but shot in the back. Drive by. Let's go for the word for the day. You ready? You ready? Opsimath. Opsimath. O-P-S-I-M-A-T-H. O-P-S-I-M-A-T-H. I'm proud to call myself an opsimus. I got my high school degree at 60 years of age. I'm a true opsimath. I'm just saying. Lots of action here in Denver. A lot of action. As Shay J and Brother Jeff mentioned earlier, you know, we're here on the Brother Jeff Network. You know what? Yeah, I don't know if y'all understand what this means to Denver. I don't know if you know what this whole process, you know, with Jeff coming in here every day cleaning everything. I mean, there's only been, 4 people in here, Jeff? I mean, Gerald, is that right? You, me, Jeff, Shay J, and that's about it, right? We've been holding this down since February.
Yeah, we're way.
So I don't know if you understand what the whole even idea is. We're just, you know, all of us feel strongly about our community, and we're just trying to make sure that some of the stories that you miss, some of the stories that you know you might have heard about but didn't really hear about, we're just trying to throw those stories out and let you know what's going on, keep you in tune with the rest of the black diaspora, whatever, you know, the black folks in America, black folks in Africa. You know, in Africa, because the Chinese, and I'm not saying they did this on the sly or anything like that, but the Chinese have decided that since America and all the European foreign powers have had their go at Africa, the Chinese figured out, you know what? Let's go take over Africa. Now, I told you this before. Africa, because you look at it on the globe, it don't look that big. It don't look that big. Every continent on the planet can fit in Africa's borders And there'll still be room for other land masses to be put in there. Africa is huge. Africa has every natural resource known to man. Maybe the only one they don't have is that dirt thing that China took over from U.S. We used to do that dirt thing, and that was behind all the technology in your phone and your watch and all the computers and everything. That dirt we used to mine over here in America, and to get those elements out of there, we don't do it anymore. Trump, that's another one of Trump's. Oh, we don't need to do that. So China, they've taken over our economy. They have all the money in the world. They have all the dollar bills in the world. That's why we have to keep printing money to keep up, because we don't have the money anymore. It's all over there. So China has had a honeymoon with Africa. Okay? They've had a honeymoon with Africa. Now, that means they brought African scientists, and when I say African, they're from different countries, but they brought them to China, to Wuhan, to the labs in Wuhan. They brought them over there to try to, they've got them there, so maybe they're using them for a little bit of testing. I don't know.
They're doing good.
Will this virus hurt you? I don't know. But they're bringing Africans over. They're exporting their Chinese doctors and mineralogists and miners and technicians. They're bringing those to Africa, to African nations. So they've had this honeymoon that has gone on out of the light of day, so to speak. And I've always said I wish Obama would reunite that Organization of African Unity, the OAU, and get all the presidents of is it 54 countries in Africa?
At least.
And get those leaders together. Because see what's happened over time in Africa, you watch old Mission Impossible, they'll tell you what's happening. Watch the old ones, old black and white ones. They'll show you, Mr. Phelps, we've got an African leader who doesn't like us, and we need to go in there and eliminate him and put our man in. That's what Africa was all about. Every country has somebody coming around trying to take him. There's only one country in Africa that has never been colonized. Only one. Every other nation in Africa has been colonized by some European foreign power somewhere. Only Ethiopia was able to fight off not only the British, but they fought off the Italians as well. Now, when you see what's happening in Africa, African leaders love Barack. And if you think about it, Barack, when you talk about African American, Barack is an African American. Mama was American, Daddy was African. That is an African American to me. I'm just a black man, So, bottom line is, Obama takes and reforms the Organization of African Unity, kicks the rest of these people out, figures out a way to get clean water, clean energy, harness the sun. Africa about the hottest place in the world, isn't it? Parts of it. And you have the solar coming in and bring the people that are still living like it's the 15th century and brings them into at least the 20th century. It'd be even better to bring them in the 21st, but you gotta crawl before you run. So I just think Obama is the man that could do it. He's well respected around the world. He's well respected on the continent. I just think he's the man that could pull this off. If anybody in history could, I think it's Obama. Now, that said, Ramadan, you got to fast for 30 days, roughly. And you can only eat after sundown. It's tough. It's a tough one. Limited water, you can't, they don't even want you to chew gum. Religion says no gum. Man, That's a hard one for me. I like chewing gum. So, anyway. Well, as they mentioned, as Brother Jeff and Shay J mentioned earlier, Walmart shut it down. That one in Aurora, Shay J told you about the one on 14,000 Exposition. It's been closed by Tri-County Health. 3 coronavirus deaths and multiple cases of other workers in the store. So the deaths of an employee, a store security guard, an employee's husband, and there are 6 additional confirmed cases among the rest of the employees. There are 3 additional cases connected with the business awaiting lab confirmation. Man. And like I said, I sit outside those stores, try not to go to Walmart. Walmart had the big pack of toilet paper, man. I was getting up early trying to get that, man, and I finally hooked it up. My wife said, do you plan on going to the bathroom a lot or what? I said, honey, I don't want to have to take no gun in the store to get some toilet paper, man. That's where this thing is going. So, bottom line is, I see the people going in. I see the, and it may not even be a racial thing, but I know most black folks don't. They got their little kids with them. I know they say it doesn't hit kids, but a 5-year-old this week just died. Cats are getting coronavirus. Last week we told you the tigers at the New York Zoo got, the tigers and the lions are infected. How the hell did they get it? Where is that coming from? They should have had on a mask. No, I'm just, so bottom line is, I see the people walking into Walmart, Target, Home Depot, grocery stores, King, Safeway, all of them. No mask. Now, the grocery stores, I love what they've done to the floors. They've not only put the 6-foot radius stamps on the floor, but they also put arrows. Go this way. This is a one-way aisle, fool. This is a one-way aisle. Don't be coming down here this way. So, I saw that yesterday. I was like, oh my goodness. So, I'm just going to be real. It was a white lady, no mask, and we had passed on about 4 different aisles. Mm-hmm. So my wife was fussing, and I was like, honey, the only thing you could do is say something to her. Oh no, I don't want to start anything. I'm not going to start anything. I'm just going to say something to her. So you know me. I was like, hey, this is a one-way, and we're going that way. It doesn't matter. Oh, okay. It's on. It's on. Where's your mask, lady? In my best muffled, where's your mask, lady? I don't need one. Whoa. So my thought was,
you was messing with your freedom.
My thought was, she's messing with my health. She's messing with life and death. Look, she is the personification of the Operation Blockade. Did you see downtown Sunday? Did you see the pictures of that?
What was it? What happened?
Where they blocked off, liberate Colorado. That's, the president put out all these, liberate Virginia. Anywhere there was a Democratic governor, the president said, liberate Wisconsin, liberate Maryland, liberate Virginia, liberate Colorado. Well, those people who want to be terrorists that dress in the camouflage, packing iron. Look, man, they're packing AR-15s and they're walking around the state capitol. Damn. Now, if black folks were down there with rifles and packing sidearms with concealed carry permits, I'm hoping they have them, but the police don't even bother to check them. They don't want no confrontation with those fools. So that lady is the personification of those people. Those people who want to drive and block the traffic when there ain't no traffic. They're the only traffic. Ain't nobody out driving around. People are on home arrest. We're under house arrest. And that's okay. I'm fine with it. Matter of fact, go like this. Matter of fact, I fixed my back gate. It's been bugging the crap out of me for the last 6 months. So
And it's fixed.
fixed it. It fixed this morning. It was hard, man. It was hard because really you got to take the whole fence off and lay it down so you can hammer correctly. You try to hammer on it when it's up, it's very difficult. So in any event, 2-hour job for a fence company or 15 minutes for a fence company. 2 days I was working on it, but that's okay. I got it done.
That's right.
So when these people are out driving around, they talk about, I heard one guy say, we're going to do a drive-by on the Capitol. I have never heard so many white folks who live in the North, who live out here in the West, who live up in I saw the lady from Maine. She had a Southern accent. Where do these people come from? How do you just get a Southern accent? You live in the North. You don't live below the Cotton Curtain. How do you get a Southern accent? Well, they all got it. But why don't the police even effectuate some kind of contact with these people that are packing iron? You don't know if they're legal or not legal. They just strap on and roll out. And they just roll out. And they're talking crap about everybody who's not like them.
And there's Shay J, and she got on a mask.
Uh-oh, hold on. Hey, look,
All right.
all I know,
Charger.
huh?
She left her charger.
Don't tell the world.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna touch it.
Oh God.
Is it the one? Is it the one with the black?
There you go. Just spray it.
Yeah, I can spray it after you touch it.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel like my heart is being pulled out.
Good.
Man,
Oh, move those good tenny shoes. Thank you.
man,
All right, guys, I'm out of here.
Okay.
Back to the world.
man,
Don't pay
Man.
John no attention.
I'm trying not to.
man. She done pulled the heart out of me. Okay. So anyway, here these people are running around the Capitol in Colorado, which, 100 years ago was Klan territory. And now this boy has given them the freedom to come out the closet. This is like they done come out the closet. I wonder if the COVID virus is like the AIDS virus or something. I don't know. Is this something that they just it's transmitting to them? But no, it's hitting us more. It's hitting us more.
Of course.
It has to. Look, I'm telling you, this whole situation. They talk about you can't direct it to a DNA genome mode or whatever. Man, I'm telling you, look, 1964, there was a lady named Betty Powell, I believe that was her name, 1964. She is the woman, she's a high school dropout. She didn't even graduate from high school. 1964. So she went to her doctor's office, and the doctor was a friend of the family. So she said, well, you know what? I really like medicine. I don't know what I want to do with my life, but could I look in your microscopes and stuff like that? All of a sudden, the doctor found she had an aptitude for picking out microorganisms on the big, at that time, the microscopes. So this lady, she found a bunch of different viruses. She found a bunch of different things while she was just doing this stuff for fun. Well, she's the one that found the first coronavirus. 1964. A high school dropout found it. We got the scarf lady, can't even figure it out.
What the world?
Dr. Bricks. She got more scarves than anybody, I'm telling you. So, in any event, this has been around since 1964. And if you can get the genetic code, which has the DNA attached to it, and all these other things, why couldn't you theoretically target, as you go through each one of those DNA or each one of those genomes, you go through each one and you say, well, this one affects this one affects that, this one could affect your kidneys, this one could affect your liver, and this one we ain't got no cure for this one. So why couldn't you direct a virus? Everybody thought it was, eating live dead bats or eating live bats. They even said that eating green monkey meat was what caused AIDS and all this stuff. Man, come on now. Come on. This lady, a high school dropout, found the virus in 1964. So, she went on to become a virologist, I guess. Virologist. And so she helped find things, do things, and come up with cures for things and vaccines for certain things. They need her now more than ever. I think she passed away. But they need her now more than ever. And I don't know if you saw this last night. If you didn't see this, you better go to NBC. I think it was on NBC. Savannah Guthrie, and guess who?
Who?
Dr. Virus himself, Bill Gates. Yes. Bill Gates, who has poured money into, right here he built the labs up at CSU. He built the viral biotech labs at CSU. He gave them up early March, right when the virus became public. He has had people in China. America gave China $317 million to the Wuhan labs to try to figure some of this stuff out. Or maybe how to figure out how to pinpoint and how to target the virus. I don't know. But Bill Gates' interview last night was really good. Bill Gates, you know what he's saying?
What did he say?
10 years. This is going to be on us for 10 years before they get a real vaccine. They say a vaccine really takes 5 years. Not only, right now they're just trying to scrape the surface and trying to get something into your arm to keep you from maybe getting it. But they got to give this to everybody in the world. This is not a virus you could just, the next 10 people come in, we'll give them the virus or the vaccine and the virus will go away. No. Some people are incubating this virus right now. They're asymptomatic. You don't even know if they have it. They don't even know if they have it. Mm-hmm. Talking in your face. Spittle coming out their mouth. Little droplets. Man, I'm telling you, I'm not giving up my mask. I'm not giving up my mask. No. Well, Denver mayor last night, he said that Colorado's largest city is going to remain and stay at home until May 8th, even as the governor is saying, hold up, I'm going to relax the statewide mandate I put in on Monday. Okay. You guys are right across the park from each other. Can you call each other? Do you have 2 tin cans with a string that you can talk to each other? How are you going to open up the state and the city's going to stay closed? Get together, lawmakers. Get together. Figure this out. Do it at the same time or don't do it at all, or do what you're doing now. Okay, now the mayor has changed because we were supposed to open up the city, yesterday or today?
It's today the 30th for...
No, he had moved it up to the 25th or 4th.
The 26th for the state and then the 30th for Denver.
See, I thought the mayor had moved it back up too. But in any event...
They had 2 different dates.
Yeah.
The state and then the city, and now the city has moved it even further.
And the city said, I'm going to err... This is what the mayor said. I'm going to err on the side of saving lives. Bam! That's the smartest thing I've heard that man say.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
That's pretty smart. That is pretty smart. Because now you see what's happening. States are asking, can they sue the federal government for not warning them, not giving them enough supplies, not all these other things. A lawsuit, states suing the federal government. Government ain't got no money. I don't know where all these billions and trillions are coming from.
I talked to Congressman Jason Crow. He said it's coming from the Treasury Department. It's adding to the debt, but it's an important,
Yeah, this guy has not only added to the debt, he's tripled, quadrupled the trillions of dollar debt right now. That's what we got. And who's buying that money? Who's buying those options?
The Chinese?
Chinese. How so? Let's go. You know? So this is so interlaced with everything. The food supply. Oh my God. The President Treason came out with a thing. I'm going to cut the amount of money field workers can make in this country. What? You're going to cut their pay? You ought to be increasing their pay and giving them a bonus for even wanting to come up here and pick everything. Prune trees, pick oranges, plant crops, cultivate the crops as they're growing. Come on, man. You're going to cut their pay? This man is so dumb. He's dumb as a rock. He is dumb as a rock. Shrewd rock. He's a shrewd rock. But he is dumb as hell. Cut the Paris Accord. Now you see, since nobody's driving around the world, now you can see mountains in Tibet. Now you can see the mountains in Colorado. Now you don't see the brown cloud. Should that not tell you that fossil fuels are creating a problem?
Oh, good point.
I'm just saying. I don't even know. I'm just asking. Because to me, the air is cleaner. You go outside, you can take a deep breath. You don't have a little cough. I'm telling you. Look, everything is so intertwined behind this coronavirus. Man, I'm telling you. Look, okay, they opened one meatpacking plant, and I will say this, way too quickly. They opened the Greeley JBS plant way too soon. They just shut it down Friday or Thursday. You ain't got that thing clean. A, and B, those workers ain't been tested. Bill Gates said 10 years. If I believe anybody about this viral stuff, I'm believing Bill Gates. I'm sorry. I'm believing him.
Okay.
Look, the man said 10 years and everybody in the world has to be vaccinated. And now that it's spread to animals in the zoo and pets that sleep on your head, you know how a cat sleeps on your head and stuff like that? Or you wake up and your cat's all over you and stuff? Man, come on, man.
Donald Trump.
Well, they said like this. Well, no one's ever heard of animals giving it back to people.
Oh, yeah.
But I will encourage you to drink Clorox and do Lysol chewables. When I heard that, I thought he was joking. Then when he turned to the doctor and asked the doctor, and the doctor looked at him like, she was like this, don't ask me no asinine question like that. She was saying, in essence, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard anybody say. I can't wait till Bill Maher is on tonight. I can't wait for Bill Maher because I know he's going to tear that up. That man, okay. Polis is supposed to issue an order tonight on what his plans are for reopening the state. You know, they talk about these 3-step plans and this and that. We'll open this, we'll open that, we won't open this. We're not going to open this. They've canceled the concert seasons. They've canceled concerts in the state. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
This is the second time, though, that Hancock has taken a more restrictive plan than Polis. In March, Hancock issued that stay-at-home order the day after Polis said such a mandate was unenforceable. He wasn't going to do it. It's the wrong course of action. That's what Polis said. But 2 days later, he changed his mind, ordering a lockdown statewide. So even the most skeptical people have figured out, you know what? This ain't no joke. This is not a joke. Now, the finance people in the city, I don't know if you stay up on the budget stuff, but they've been going over the budget. Well, we can tell you now, we're going to be short a little money.
A little?
The taxes aren't coming in. This is third month coming into the third month. Taxes aren't coming in from businesses. We're not getting any money. This is we got to figure this out. Money is going to get tight for the Mile High Income City, which is why some are asking. Many cities around the state have already done this. They furloughed workers. That gets the city to save salaries. Okay, put some of these people on furlough for 6 months. Make up the taxes, because otherwise, who's going to pay them taxes? You and me. We're going to pay them. You know how they're going to pay them? They'll come back with a bond issue. They'll come back with higher taxes. They'll come back with something. They have to. Look, they said there was going to be a $40 million shortfall.
40?
That was the first thing they said. Ooh. That was beef. That was when this whole thing first started. Now, look. The mayor has 54 appointees. Candy Tabaka, if you'll remember, and Dr. Lisa Calderon came out with the study out of the budget. They said those 54 employees, those appointees of the mayor, they average about 100 and some. I heard of 120, but maybe it's 104. But whatever it is, they're averaging that amount of money. They're appointees. I say they be appointed furloughees. Put them on furlough. Get some of that money back.
Not all of them, just the non-essential.
Not all of them. Non-essential. I like that.
Just the non-essential.
I like that.
Non-essential mean us.
All of them are non-essential.
No, there's some that are essential.
And look,
we got to get rid of
if they're appointees, people use appointees for what? Paying back. They help me, I'm helping them. That's okay. But see, that's why a city manager is needed in Denver like they have in Aurora. That city manager might get 25 of those appointees and give the other 26 or 8 to the mayor. That way the city manager can make sure, like we say, these are essential appointees. Maybe they're appointed to run Parks and Rec. Maybe they're appointed to run transportation or whatever. Maybe they're appointed to do these things. Well, the mayor kind of, I'm standing back. These are my boys. These are my friends. I know they're doing their job. I don't have to check in on them every day. But then you have the city manager checking in on them every day, making sure they're doing the work. That's what I'm talking about. Well, I will say this. Give Mayor Mike a big hand, because last night he showed the world that he wasn't going to cave in till those terrorist-clad fools who are loving President Treason's message.
All right.
Okay? They came to the Capitol, calling it a drive-by. Man.
Yeah.
Now, he's closed the parks, but he opened the golf courses. All of them except City
But you
Park.
gotta keep walking. You can't
City
sit
Park
down.
ain't open.
City Park is not open. It's locked up tight. And they got the electronic fence around it. Only the geese can get in there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let's see, what else I got? Do you hear what Trevor Noah said? Now, Trevor Noah, I don't know if you've heard him do the president. He's got him down. He's got him down.
Who?
Trevor Noah on Comedy Central.
Oh.
Remember I mentioned this? I'll get to Trevor in a second. Remember I mentioned this a while back? That the president was really secretly trying to deep six the election?
Yeah, you did say that.
And now, that's what Joe Biden must be listening to us. Because now Joe Biden came out with it. Joe Biden said he believes the president will try to delay the November elections.
Oh, yeah.
He feels Trump will try to make it hard for people to vote.
Yep.
Because that is the only way he thinks he can possibly win.
Yeah, true.
But in 1845 law, I had to look this up because Jeff kept asking. It sets the date for the states to appoint presidential electors. And that is the date which voters must cast their ballots. Constitutional scholars say neither the Congress or the laws of the land grant the president power to postpone an election.
That's right.
Even during war, other pandemics, or deadly crisis, and has an election date been changed in response to emergency? Trevor Noah says, seems like an essential service in the White House is chaos, because that's all that's rolling through the White House right now. Look, Dr. Rick Bright, he was in charge of the efforts to come up with the C-19 virus, fired, no explanation.
Yeah, because he
Fired.
said something against Trump.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's it.
But
NBC,
Trump said he don't even know who he is.
he didn't even know him.
Didn't even know.
See, well, that's what he says about everybody he fires. I didn't know the man. I didn't know him. He seemed like a nice guy. Look, CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN, they all are set to announce they will no longer televise those press briefings that run 90 minutes.
With just him talking.
Just him talking. Kentucky, 273 people tested positive after attending one of those Liberate rallies. Atlanta Mayor Bottoms, I don't know if you saw this one. She's opening up something on her cell phone and her daughter is looking over her shoulder. And it says, nigga, shut up and open Atlanta back up. And the little girl saw that. She said, Mama, why are you talking like that? Honey, just... And we talked about those loans just before this. Up to 90% of minority and women owners were shut out of that Paycheck Protection Program. Roughly 95% of black-owned business, 91% of Latino, 91% of Hawaiian, Pacific Islanders, Native American. Look, 75% of Asian-owned business stand ready to close because they didn't get any money either. You know, Shay J and Brother Jeff were talking about, and Walton Street Cafe got hit, got their money. Look, they said it's, and they talked about it. It's all about,
they get their money.
well, it's all about the relationship you have with your bank.
Right.
And black folks, for whatever reason, you know, we put our taxes in there. You got to have a business tax filing. You can't do it under your own personal stuff. Banks, when they see a husband and wife on it, that's a red flag. Because what happens if they divorce? What happens? Who's going to be responsible? So that's one thing you don't do. File under your business. Don't file under your personal taxes. The other thing is, how about this one? 43,000 U.S. millionaires will get stimulus packages averaging $1.6 million each.
No.
Yes.
Yep.
In Chicago, you saw Mayor Lightfoot go to the beauty parlor, or the salon, as they say, to get her hair trimmed up.
Yeah. She said she's got to interact with the public.
Man, I don't care. You got an afro, girl? Pick it out, get a pick. Just saying. Hey, Chicago is ground zero. Cook County Jail, hundreds of detainees are sick. You know, and Dr. Willie Wilson had thousands of masks he wanted to give to the city, but the city said no. They didn't even bother to call him back. He called the mayor's office. I got these. They're sitting in a warehouse. I can give them to first responders, police, fire, hospital workers, people who need a mask to stay safe. I can give these to you. He wasn't even trying to sell them to the city. The city didn't even call him back.
That's Chicago?
In Chicago.
Oh my God.
Man. Hey, look, this is one I like. Meant to get this in last week. And we kind of touched on it a little bit. But seniors in high school, this guy named Lincoln Delleman, he's 17, Eagle Rock High School in Los Angeles. He tweeted late Tuesday to Obama saying, please give a nationwide graduation speech to the class of 2020. High school, 8th grade, 6th grade, college, whatever. They want to hear that hope is still alive in this country. And they say Obama is the guy to do it.
Tell them about chubby curls and
Chubby curls, we cleaned them off. They're chubby. They'll get your hair chubby. You can't get anything. Chubby, look, virus doesn't get on chubby curls. I know that. Educating the natural scalp, one dreadlock at a time. Look, I'm telling you, man, look, the draft started last night. It's going to go again tonight. We got, what's his name, Jerry Judy. It's an Alabama wide receiver. He's fast as hell. Oh, and if you're planning on picking up trees from park people in City Park, don't go. They're not refunding the money that you put in to buy your trees, because they're giving it to the nursery. They're donating it to the nursery where these trees come from, so that the nurseries can have even more trees next year. But you lost your money. Unemployment leading to food insecurity around the state. This is the new drink order of the day. It's my last shot at it. We're going to go and we're going to do Trump teenies this afternoon. You know how you make them, right? 1 part bleach, 1 part disinfect, 1 part Tide packets. Take it with your morning Kofifi, guaranteed to cure the coronavirus, but the side effect you may not want. The side effect is death.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Do not drink any of those products. Lysol, Mr. Clean, any of that stuff. Don't drink them. They're deadly. They will kill you quicker than the coronavirus. Or you'll get sick and you'll have to go to a hospital. There you'll get the coronavirus. Man, do the right thing. Put on your mask, and don't forget, when you get in a situation, rumble, young man and young woman. Rumble. Because you know why?
Just might score a knockout.
Damn, you might score that knockout on that C-19 virus. Go ahead. That's all we can give you today. We've got to keep this up. 7 donations. Don't forget, what is Cashapp? $ John 14 Bowman. Hit him up. Give me some gas money to get home. That's all I need. All right, that's going to do it for us here at the Brother Jeff Network. Tune in next week, because we'll have more for you. That's all we can promise.
All right, JB.
All right,
There he is.